Good morning, everyone. I'm excited to kick off today. Happy Thursday. Hope you got your coffee ready. Still haven't had mine. We've had we've got to fire our cameraman, by the way. We've got some technical difficulties over here, but we're going live. We're doing it live. So anyway, welcome. Hope you're ready to buckle up and have a great Thursday as well. We're just fixing our camera, but I'll kick things off here. So yesterday was a wild day. We were pretty much nonstop for like 16 hours straight. We got a lot accomplished, got a lot of recording accomplished, had a great call with our community, we had some really exciting things that happened. So we'll go through the numbers here in a little bit when Aaron gets back from fixing the camera. So we're going to do a view check. All right.
Good enough.
Yep. That works.
Whew. All right.
All right. Let us begin. Let's check in real quick on the personal non-negotiables. How'd you do yesterday?
What personal non-negotiables? No,
Same, bro.
I did get in the cold plunge last night, right before we did our introductory onboarding call stuff. Yesterday, I have no complaints over yesterday. Yesterday was extremely, extremely solid.
Yeah.
Had a good call with the team. Team worked on some stuff I've never even seen before in terms of what they were putting together for the new onboarding process, which hopefully at some point we'll be able to show you guys. Sales call.
That really is revolutionary.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like that.
No, me either. I don't want to talk about it, but I'm still, my brain is catching up with my mouth still. So
yeah, well, one of the things that we've been talking about over the last few weeks as we've been launching this program is, we have our Done For You service that we're still doing, but we're really like transitioning our flagship offer from the Done For You to the community and course. And so what that means is a little bit of an identity shift for our company. And we're shifting from like a service based business to like an innovation focused business. And so, and this is really what I think we love doing the most is like building cool shit. Yeah, over the last few weeks, we've been innovating, lots of things. And that onboarding process is extremely innovative. I'd like to show you guys at some point, but yeah, we'll save that. We'll put a pin in that.
We'll make a video going over it.
We do have some things that we can show that like the speed to lead system and
oh boy,
yeah, we got some.
It's gonna melt some faces.
Yeah, so we got some good things cooking.
What's up with Zoom?
Yeah, Zoom was I was unaffected yesterday, but I think all of our clients were. So basically, we ran a group coaching call, which we run 3 group coaching calls every single week as part of our program. And while I was running it, that was the moment that Zoom had a worldwide outage. So that was very convenient. We only had one client hop on, and I was like, "Where is everybody?" And then I saw all over the place. Nobody could access Zoom. So
yeah, it looks like it was I don't know, a bunch of stuff went down yesterday. Spotify, Zoom, other stuff. I don't know.
Really?
It's interesting. Yeah. All right, let's get into the numbers.
Cool. Well, yeah, real quick check in on my non-negotiables.
Oh yeah, you're here.
Yeah, I'm here too. So personal non-negotiables. Honestly, I failed yesterday. Did not get into the gym, did not get sun on my skin, didn't have the earmarked 60 minutes of me time. So I failed in that department, but I feel like I made up for it in the business non-negotiables. I got 4 videos recorded. That was a big priority. And had some great conversation with the team. Got some other things for the other side of the business cranking. So feel really good about business, but my intention is to do better with my personal non-negotiables. Woo! Let's go.
Coffee's hitting now. I'm alive.
There it is.
All right.
Hello, old friend.
Yeah, I'm back. All right, we're off to a slow start. We're going to speed into it now.
All right, here we go. Let's go through the numbers.
All right.
So yesterday, you had 1 call scheduled for yesterday?
Yeah, which was actually perfect because I needed yesterday to do everything that I was doing.
Did you complete that call?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. I did make an offer, I didn't make an offer, but I did introduce them to HubSpot and have a follow-up, so we're going to see. Red zone deals, we're still at 2.
All right, so no new red zone deals?
No.
Okay.
Nope.
And do we want to keep this tab as, or keep this line as the ongoing, like the cumulative red zone deals?
Yeah, I'd like to see cumulative that way.
I think that makes sense.
We can pull it out of there if we lose a deal or whatever.
Yep.
Yep.
Deals closed 0, rhymes with hero. We'll go through the rest of the numbers here and work our way down.
Yeah.
So low ticket purchases yesterday. This seems weird to me. So no low ticket offers. We did have, we had 12 leads, so a little bit slower on just the overall lead flow. But we also, kind of shit the bed with low ticket offers. So,
I mean, it's Wednesday. It was Wednesday. That's how it was last week too.
And it could go up and down. I mean, on a day-to-day basis, it's hard to judge, but let's just keep our eye on that.
No, I mean, if we look back at every single time we've ran ads, our biggest inbound lead flow, booked calls, all of that stuff happens Friday through Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
It always slows down up until about Wednesday, and then Thursday, Friday, it starts to ramp back up.
Yeah.
I mean, makes sense with who we're calling out.
Yeah.
As business owners. Yesterday, I don't think I looked at anything where I would receive ads. You know what I mean?
I didn't have time to buy anything either.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll just, we'll keep following the trend there. We got our 3 shorts posted, so hit that non-negotiable.
Hell yeah, Fred.
Yeah. Shout out to the Fredditor.
Yeah, if you guys don't have a Fredditor, you don't know what you're missing out on.
Yeah. He is a beast. We got 7 new subscribers, which is pretty cool. And then number of views on YouTube channel was 1726. So, by the way, I hope you guys appreciate the new view. We got some feedback from the team that said that it was hard to read this when we were presenting in the old format. So we did innovate a new format for you guys. So tell us in the comments.
Actually, we already made this one. We just forgot about it. So.
Actually, yeah, you're right. Yeah. we actually found it yesterday, but yeah, we were in the rabbit hole when we were building all this stuff out last weekend. We did create it, but we've been creating so much stuff we forgot about it. So here it is. We're bringing it back to life. Ad spend was $375 yesterday. We got 12 leads, 28 outbound calls, and then this is not relevant for us right now. 0 inbound bookings and one call that you had booked. You got them on the calendar after you had that initial phone call?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, somebody I met 3 years ago at an event. He was like, I saw your ads, and I was wondering if you're coming to this event next week, and I'm not, but yeah. Anyways, told him what we were up to. Sent him the live stream stuff, and then he asked about it, so I got him booked.
Nice.
Yep.
All right. Excellent. Are you sure we didn't have any inbound bookings? Because you said you have 5 calls for the 5
today.
Calls scheduled today?
Yeah.
How do we get those 5?
What do you mean?
I'm just looking at the total booked closing calls?
I came into the week with 11 calls.
Okay. So these are booked from last week.
I think they were booked Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That makes sense.
Yeah.
All
Well,
right.
Let me double check that. All right. So I've got this. Yes. I've got this. Yes. I've got this. Yes. I've got this. Yes. And this. Yes. Yeah. 5 calls.
Okay. All right.
You be telling me no. My body. Telling me yes.
We're still in a state of delirium. Don't mind us.
This is as clear as I've ever been.
Ready to rock and roll.
Write a novel right now.
Completed one.
Yeah, I mean, I think right now we need to finish that onboarding process. I want to get the program trial template stuff that we were talking about yesterday done today. Today I need to get the presentation done for Paris, which after the idea from last night in terms of how I want to put it together, I'm fucking excited for.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I think most of these calls will be pretty solid today. And then tomorrow I've got a pretty wide open day just to annihilate whatever else I need to do. So I think, I don't know what your schedule looks like, but yeah, I mean, we've got the rest of this live stream. We go into the, obviously, weekly, or why is this an hour this morning? We're doing something specific on the huddle this morning to where it's supposed to be an hour?
It's always an hour.
Oh, I just have it set to 30 minutes on my calendar. Yeah, so I'm going to finish out a few more videos, knock out these sales calls, probably take what I have from all of the call recordings that I've had from this week, figure out if I can pull out that script, get that over to you and whoever else needs it for next week. And then tomorrow is just going to be a head down, crank out whatever really the team needs from me and whatever you need from me so that I can have the weekend to finish the presentation, backlog a bunch of content, and pack. And yeah, it's going to be a really, really busy next couple days.
Yeah.
We should absolutely get down to the sauna steam room tonight.
Yeah. That was, we actually had that scheduled, but we missed it.
I don't remember. No way.
It was like 30 minutes after our scheduled appointment, and Aaron comes in. He's like, "We missed the sauna." I looked at the clock. I'm like, "Shit, we did." I'm like, "I'm okay with it." He's like, "Me too. Let's keep going."
I was in the middle of recording. It didn't even matter.
But yeah, that would be nice to prioritize that today.
Yep.
Yeah, today. Today I've got quite a bit of white space that I plan on getting the. Yeah, this is gonna be nice.
That's your
so
day,
basically, got the meeting with the team, got the group call with our community, and then meeting with some of the team here, and otherwise recording. The other thing I wanted to work on and check back in on, and you guys can continue to give me accountability on this, is redoing this baseline sheet. So we just take out some of these things that are not relevant to us, as well as add in a few.
You think we can do this? I mean, we should just do this weekend, or I can do it on the plane. I've got a freaking 10-hour flight. You know, I mean, there's so much.
I mean, nah, dude, I think you just need to energetically prepare for Paris.
What do you mean?
I mean,
with what? I just need to keep going. I'm in momentum.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
I'm saying I don't know if like you have a day today, so I don't know if I would focus on editing a spreadsheet, or I would just send. Harrison's colorblind. This sheet doesn't have too much color, so you could probably just get him to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, dude. I want to see the show rate videos that you were showing.
That's 100% getting done today.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
priority.
100%.
Yeah. I mean, this is, I definitely want to get this done by end of week. So, I do have this on my list, and it's just going to stay as a ongoing item. And then, also getting our account management, just beefing up our account management process. as we're selling more people into this program just to be ready for that. So got a couple things to do on that front. Let's see here. Yeah, show rate engine. By the way, did you work on this prospecting agent for no-shows?
Yeah, talked about it yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah. Right now we have a decent cadence in place, so we're going to put it on the backside of it. But to be honest, we're not really having, we're having some no-shows, but they're kind of with the, I would say, unengaged, like, personal emails, right? Everybody that has a business email or is that actually we can get a hold of is showing up. So right now I think the no-show agent side for the AI is going to go up behind the actual initial cadence that Harrison created.
Mm-hmm.
So and then we'll eventually replace it with the agent.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it sounds good to me.
Yeah, I think we'll have it turned on today.
All right, excellent. Yeah, so otherwise I think we got most of what we needed to accomplish for yesterday. Yeah, I'm also just keeping a running list here of either ideas or things that, are backlogged. So this is just going to carry over from each day. It's just so we could stay, this is done right here. And then, yeah, so I think we're good here. Deals closed 0, revenue generated 0, rhymes with hero. Yeah, we'll turn that around today. So, I wanted to transition to a little sneak peek at the speed to lead system.
Some dope
you ready
shit.
for that?
Yeah, I can do it. Put me on the spot, coach.
Here we go.
I don't know. Let me see here. There's so much to put into this.
Yeah, I still have to upload all my videos, and I'm only halfway done with uploading them.
Yeah. Here, let me make this a view so it's not. I'm just gonna close out all this stuff. My body, tell me yeah. All right, so far I've woken up with 3 songs stuck in my head. It's 5 o'clock somewhere, and whatever it is that I'm singing right now. And then I don't know if you remember the London, never mind. That's gonna.
Dude, the only song that's been in my head for the last couple of days is our intro song to this live stream.
I was dreaming about it last night.
Dude, yeah. That's just been ringing in my head, it feels like.
All right. So while I pull this up, so we dropped a training yesterday. I don't know. It's one that I'm actually proud of. It's a very in-depth and covers basically everything. But oh wow, the view on the laptop looks horrible. There we go. I can make that work. But one of the things that we constantly look at whenever we have a new client or anytime we're looking at somebody's metrics, right? So if we go to go to the trailing 90 here, and let's share that screen. Yeah, let's get in some good stuff. All right, so if we're working with any client, right, we're going to have them go through trailing 90, which trailing 90 is going to be all of the basically benchmarked data for the last 90 days. So let's say January, February, March. January, you have a crazy month. February, you have an average. And let's say March, you have a really low month. Or let's say you have a crazy January and then 2 really low months. Basically what the trailing 90 is going to do is it's going to give you a baseline average across all of your metrics. So it's a long enough time horizon to where, for example, a lot of people track close rate by how many deals close in the month, even if those deals are from the previous month and are carried over, right? So for example, you could have a bunch of people that have calls with you and are booked in January, right? But then they close in the following month, and you take that and actually divide that by the calls that you have booked for that month, and that's how you get your close rate. So basically the trailing 90 just takes a big enough chunk of time so that can kind of equal out, so we can actually get true close rates, show rates, all of this stuff, at least as accurate as possible with as little of a lift as possible. So we'll take all of this and then go into the Q1. Yeah. Scroll down. So that'll load up this kind of left side of this whole sheet here. But anytime you see this lead to close percentage, right? So like 1.62, or I mean, even the like cost per disco booked, right? I mean, these numbers look decent just because we're using a literal like template data. Mm-hmm. But basically anytime you see really high cost per booking, or you see, for example, I don't know, a really low lead to close, right? Or for example, a lead to booking percentage is, let's say, below 10% or below 5% or anything along those lines. Typically, this is obviously if you're leveraging setters. I don't even know there we go. I'm on me. Nice. Mm-hmm. Anytime you're leveraging setters, one of the biggest complaints that you're going to hear no matter what is lead quality sucks, right? We need better leads. And if you don't, call me, because
we got you.
No, I want you. Yeah. Tell me what your magic is. But anyways, so setters always complain that lead quality isn't good. Marketing always complains that people aren't getting the leads. Why don't we just take that basically out of the equation and look at what a metric that we can actually basically see, right? And if we know that our lead to close, our lead to booking percentage, our call to set average, all of these numbers are either low or high, right? And another one that's really good to look at is going to be your call to set. So how many outbound calls does it take to get one set, right, from your sales reps, right? Also, call to connect rate is another one. Anyways, I'm going to digress. Basically, what we put together and what we just dropped into the training yesterday is every single time a lead comes into your system and it goes through the delegation workflow, at the end of the delegation workflow, it's going to pass to another essentially workflow. And in that workflow, it's going to basically wait until it's Monday through Friday, basically whatever your working hours are, so 9 to 6 or 10 to 8 or whatever the case may be for you. And as soon as it hits that time, or if it is in that time, it's going to stamp the delegation date and time to the rep that it got passed to, right? Now with that, we can also wait until the first outbound call happens, and then we can stamp the actual first outbound call time and date. And what that's going to allow us to do is get the duration in between those two date and time properties, which now we actually have proper tracking, right? We can see every single contact and in what basically time frames were our reps actually able to contact these leads. Now, I want to share my screen, but not yet. Don't do it. I wish there was a easier way to... Actually, we could probably create a view that gets rid of phone numbers, views, and names. So, like,
yeah,
we could actually show stuff very easily.
Are you able to collapse the...
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Okay.
You can switch over now.
Okay.
So, for example...
Oh, you're not plugged in.
That's probably a good thing to do. So this one part's going to make it valuable for you guys. All right. So, there we go. Oh, that's my YouTube. There we go. All right. So, I'll zoom in for you guys so you guys can actually see this. But basically, anytime a lead comes in, right, we have a speed to lead stamp that tells us how long it took for the sales team to get to, right? I'm in a demo portal, so this data is going to be all over the place. But we've got 81 minutes to get to this contact, 47 minutes to get to this one, 4 hours, 5 hours, 101 minutes, 135 minutes. And basically, it's giving us the ranges that we fall in. So out of all the ranges, we have less than 2 hours, more than 2 hours, less than 24, 24 to 48, 48 to 96, and then we've got 96 plus. Now, the reason we do this is so we can roll it all into these reports. So basically a dashboard that looks like this, which is really nice to have, especially for your sales manager or marketing or whatever the case may be. So this is all the numbers delegated for this quarter versus last. So you can see if you're trending up or down for the actual leads that you're delegating to the team. This is going to be your overall basically ranges that all of your leads are falling into for that quarter. So it's the same report, just rolled into a pie chart, which for this one. So basically this is stating that out of all the leads you generated, 13 were contacted in less than 2 hours this quarter, right? compared to last quarter. So what you want to see is you want to see this and this have a skyrocket in terms of percentage compared to the previous month. And when we first put this in places, it's absurd what they see. They'll see a ton of this, right? A ton of this, very little of this. And what that tells you is that your reps are either not actively working throughout the day, or they're working really hard in the morning and then they're on calls, or they're overwhelmed. They don't have enough basically time. You don't have enough, your systems aren't good enough for them because they're taking too much time to do too many different things manually. So anyways, there's a lot of different ways that we can impact this number, but first we have to track it. So if you don't have a way to track speed to lead, how are you supposed to improve it? Yeah, you're guessing, right? So anyways, there's this, and then down below, it's going to be the rep performance. And again, it's going to be demo data, but it's still relevant. It's just going to look a little different because it's not going to load this week, this month, right? But basically, it'll take all of your reps for this quarter. It'll tell you how many leads you've actually delegated to them. And then down below, it's going to give you the actual percentage of the buckets that they're contacting their leads. So me, I suck.
Good job, bro.
That's what this report says. Says I contact 15% of the leads I'm given in less than 2 hours. I contact 43% in hours. I contact 30%, basically 24 to 48. And then my other side is going to be all 48 hours to 96 hours, right? And then down below, the last report is just going to be essentially how many leads you've delegated to your reps this quarter where there is no touch point. So they were never actually contacted. So this obviously should be as close to zero as possible, right? If not zero. Okay, obviously, if you're starting in the morning and looking at this, there may be one or two, but you never want to see something like this, right? And this is not accurate. Again, I just want to point out Mateus is an absolute dog. So I don't want to do him dirty like that. But anyway, so now that we have tracking in, we can put a ton of stuff in place. You can hold your reps accountable. And if you get something like this in place, to be honest, it's very straightforward. You just show your team, you go over this and you say, hey guys, let's say, 42% is more than 2 hours, but in the first day, like let's move 20 or 30% of that into the first 2 hours. Let's focus on that, right? Let's see what kind of sets you guys actually get out of this, because essentially, we talked about it, but if a lead comes in, even if they're going through the application or they're booking their call, if they get a call immediately, right, they're much more likely to show up if they do book. So from what we've seen with information and what we've seen with clients' information, and there's very few outliers to this, direct bookings have a higher no-show rate regardless compared to somebody that's actually spoken to somebody prior to their call, right? So that doesn't mean that it needs to be a setter who sets the call, and that's what prior talking means. But if you have a confirmation rep or you have a confirmation process, anytime you can get on the phone and actually have a conversation, not a, hey, are you good for 2 p.m. Friday? But hey, this is blah, blah, blah with blah, blah, blah. It looks like you're meeting with this individual. I'm excited for you. It looks like I checked out your business. What do you have going on? Just want to ask you a few questions. Do you have time? If you have conversations with them prior to them showing up, they are 10 times more likely to actually show up to that call. Right? They feel more invested into the conversation. You've actually given them curiosity on that confirmation call if you're good, right? And you're not answering their questions, but you're confirming why they should show up to that call, right? So,
and you're saying that happens like a speed to lead type
it will
process.
If somebody comes in immediately and your speed to lead is set up the way we set it up, like there will be times where your reps call out to somebody who's like, oh, actually I just booked.
Yep.
Right. But good.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Good. Is that what we found is that when you do have a call booking funnel and there's lots of people that are booking onto the calendar, just treat them as like normal opt-in leads, to your point. And that conversation is less about, hey, let's get you booked, but more so about like, hey, you're confirmed. Let me get some information and here's some value as well leading up to the call. Yeah,
I think it should be more of a where are we? They're just staring at a freaking dashboard. No, I think it should be more of, so if a setter reaches out, somebody's already booked, they are, confirm why, blah, blah, whatever, but that's not their responsibility. And depending on, I can't remember who it was. We had them set up as soon as somebody booked. The confirmation specialist was calling. So as soon as the booking came in, the rep was actually going and hitting them right away to confirm their appointment. And I can't remember what the actual outcome of that was, because typically they're letting some pre-call stuff go and then they're actually contacting them a little bit closer to the meeting. But depending on industry and depending on what your service is and depending on kind of how busy your calendar is, it might be a really good idea to have that confirmation rep immediately reach out and just quickly, especially if it's a direct booking, and maybe you only do this with direct bookings, because if they just were off a call with a setter, set the call, and then it's a confirm, I mean, that would get quite annoying, to be honest. I wouldn't want that for me, right? But if they're a direct booking, they come through a direct process, so they go opt-in, application, book, or whatever your funnel is. If they're a direct booking, that's a very probably important step that we could put in pretty easily, actually. So damn, that's actually a really good idea, building in the
V2 improvement. The confirmation owner property, basically. I was working with the confirmation owner a lot yesterday in the show rate engine, but I mean, I've seen that work, dude, and I've also run that process just because the calls that get booked onto the calendar, they do show at a lower rate. And I mean, most companies that have at least I've seen, most companies that have that type of funnel are basically like, oh, they're booked on the calendar, that's what we want, we're good, and they're not doing anything with them. But like, I like treating them as a lead.
Well, let's look at the evolution of show rates, right? Like, so the update came out with Google Calendar, where if they don't, like, you don't know the sender, right? It's not actually going to show up on the calendar until you say, yes, I know this sender, or whatever the case may be, which killed everyone's show rates. Like overnight, right? Now, right, or previous to that, it was, we could get away with just having some decent automation, so some SMS, some good email reminders, right? And show rates could be pretty stable, right? It wasn't anything crazy. I mean, if you looked at like industry average, it was probably like 60, 70%, right? For info and agency and stuff like that. There was industries that were obviously much lower depending on who you're working with. And also one thing to take into account, if like you're serving, let's say somebody who's a very busy individual day to day who doesn't have control over their calendar. So let's say you're a lead gen agency for realtors, right? Realtors are on call all the time, right? Hey, come show me this house. Okay, boom, I'm out, right? They're going to forget about whatever, just go do their thing, right? And that can pop up all the time. Whereas a business owner is going to have a lot more control over their calendar, right? So there's different processes in terms of like how to actually approach that conversation and get them booked, right? Or confirmed. But back in the day, you used to just put in some automation and it would work really well, right? Then after that, it was the whole kind of double, triple booking and passing leads back and forth, which was
it's a nightmare.
Yeah, it's a nightmare. It's a very complicated process. And to be honest, it's, for some people who do that way too early, it actually hurts them quite a bit. Right. Instead of bringing on and training new closers, they end up basically just getting overwhelmed with too many bookings and trying to double book. And again, like the difference would be like looking at a 10x opportunity, which is like completing more calls, right? Let's actually work on the show rate versus let's just double book everything. So if somebody doesn't show up, we still have a call there, which in some cases works extremely well, right? But anyways, it's a different process. So anyways, automation worked. Then it was about kind of double booking and having that kind of confirmation. Then the update came out. The update hit, everyone got tanked, right? Show rates were going down to like 40, 50, 30. Like it was bad, right? So everyone was trying to figure that basically process out. For us, that's when we moved away from a ton of automation and moved into much more of a really like value-based kind of actual role for confirming appointments. So actually building the confirmation specialist role, having them held to a KPI, which is how many appointments get confirmed that show up, right? What's our overall show rate, right? And tracking against our confirmation disposition. So basically if somebody books a disco, they're flipped to pending, right? If they confirm, they're flipped to confirm. If they don't confirm and the meeting time passes, they flip to not confirmed, right? So we're tracking our show rates on those three. And then recently the blue SMS stuff has come out. So we started putting that in place. But at the end of the day, yeah, I mean, it's.
And here's the show rate engine right here.
I like that. There she blows.
So, here to just put this up on the screen really quick so you guys can see.
Yeah, go.
But yeah, that's what Aaron's talking about. So yeah, and we kind of, this evolved into a more simplified model.
A more simple model that's actually got a role held accountable to those metrics and the actual performance of that basically metric.
Yeah.
And less automation.
Yep.
I mean, or I should say more sophisticated automation, right?
It's like more surgical, 100%, versus like, blasting automation.
Yeah. I mean, I think the biggest thing is the biggest piece for show rate is you need to elicit some kind of response as step one. So whatever your automation is should just help get a reply, right? Yep. So you don't need to immediately go into the, hey, I'm here to confirm your appointment. It can be more question based. What are you looking to get out of this? I checked, whatever. It can be more personalized just to get a response, right? Mm-hmm. Once you have the response, that's when you go into the confirmation approach, right? We need to get your appointment confirmed, have a few questions for you, whatever the case may be. Once you have those questions answered and you confirm the appointment, it's about actually basically keeping them on the hook all the way up until, a few hours of the meeting time. Mm-hmm. So that's why having a role with somebody who can actually drop in YouTube videos or ask them what they're actually looking for, reconfirm why they're coming up, et cetera, and drive kind of that conversation leading up to the meeting is extremely valuable. Now, depending on who you service, you need to be careful with that, right? I'm not going to want to be in a conversation all the way up to my meeting because if I book a meeting, I'm going to show up, right? But on the flip side, newer business owners, maybe you're servicing like the early on, maybe you're running a kind of biz op or, a make money type of offer or whatever the case may be. In those cases, you can keep that conversation basically held on the hook all the way up to the meeting start time if you have somebody who's responsible for doing that, because you can't put that on your setters.
Yeah.
Right.
It's taken away from.
I see a lot of people try and take their setters and put them into a confirmation type of role.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, Jimmy, why didn't you confirm all your appointments? He's like, well, because I was setting appointments. Right. I have new leads that I got to get to. You're tracking me on speed to lead. Mm-hmm. And you want me confirming all of this stuff and you want me setting and doing all this other stuff, right? So,
yeah, really the only caveat to that I think would be, the only situation where it makes sense to have like that role be like the setter role take on the responsibility of the confirmation specialist is if you have super low lead volume and like really high ticket.
Early on. Yeah.
Or
early on.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, just starting the process. Yeah.
But if the goal is to increase leads and really maximize the efficiency of the overall setter to closer conversion, confirmation specialist is definitely where it's at.
Yep.
So, yeah, we can move on from this. Actually, was there anything? Yeah, actually, this. So just one other caveat here with the show rate. The other reason why this is important is if the appointment is not confirmed. So, leading up to, we basically work like within a 48-hour threshold. So once that 48-hour mark hits, this is where the magic begins for the confirmation specialist. If we cross over this 24-hour threshold and an appointment is still not confirmed, it's like, hey, red alert. We've got to make sure this appointment is, ready to rock and roll. So we have a branch here for a specific set of actions. So like SMS from the rep, creating urgency. Hey, this is Dean over at Sales Momentum. I've got a packed day today. Confirmed all my appointments except you. Just wondering if you're, if this time still works, etc.
Confirm your appointment, damn it.
The other piece of this is, again, the confirmation specialist is less about like, hey, we want to confirm your appointment, and more so about, hey, let me build a relationship with you, add value to you, and build more trust with, with our company, and build value in the appointment. I was talking to a friend of mine who's a chiropractor. And I asked him, I was like, hey, what's your show rate to your appointments? And he's like, well, it depends. I'm like, on what? He's
chiropractor, you said?
Yeah.
What is it, super high?
Well, he said that it depends, but it depends on if they're in pain or not.
Of course.
So he's like, if it's an emergency, if somebody has like back pain or whatever, and they're coming in to get a problem solved, it's damn near 100%.
Yeah.
If they're just, if it's a massage or if it's like, just a regular adjustment, he's like pretty low show rate. It's
That's
not,
interesting.
not super low, but it's like 70%.
Yeah.
Which you wouldn't think, if you have a doctor's appointment.
Well, the highest, if you take all the industries and you look across everything, the highest, I would say, show rate out there. Actually, I think I've asked the team this question before, but I was looking into a bunch of stuff and I was trying to figure out, all right, where's the industry with the highest show rate? And it's actually like dentist offices. So dentist, doctor appointments, like legal consultation, right? Why? Obviously, I have a problem and I need it solved, and I'm trying to figure out the solution for that, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's actually a big point too. Is with your funnel and your pre-call copy and your talk tracks and all of these different things, unless there's pain, I mean, why people are gonna, if they have something else that pops up, why would they prioritize your meeting?
Right.
So there's honestly, there's plenty of times where even some of our really much bigger clients, it's like, oh yeah, we can't fix our show rate. It's like, well, what's the process leading up to that call? And it's just like people are interested in hearing more about what you do or have to say instead of they are interested in solving a problem that they think you can help them with.
Yeah.
Right. So anyways, actually, I want to switch over to my screen and go over some of the Spotlight updates from HubSpot because there's a lot of really interesting stuff. I don't know if I play my audio on this, will it actually play through the?
I don't think so.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we can look at it. Yeah. So in terms of updates that HubSpot's rolling out, I mean, we talked about the Breeze side, which is going to be a lot of their AI stuff. So we've got the prospecting agent, which we talked about earlier this week. The content agent, which is obviously there just to help with the actual content creation side, which I haven't played with yet. We're kind of using other stuff right now. But we are using the prospecting agent. We're rolling this out. We had an interesting meeting with Robert in the cigar lounge downstairs. And they had put it in all of their drop-off points. I think they said they deployed like 15 agents and it was just ripping with them. And they were starting to pair that with the Alloware agent, which is pretty interesting. The Breeze Intelligence. So that's more of like their data enrichment.
Yep.
And if you have a HubSpot tracking pixel on your website and you have Breeze set up, it actually can pull visitors' data and information. So they're actually doing some pretty cool stuff with that. Marketing Hub, multi-account management is actually a big thing. So instead of having to have multiple HubSpot accounts that really don't kind of, I don't know, interconnect, right? You used to have business units. I haven't looked too far into this, but it seems like this is something that they've needed to do for a while, to be honest.
Is this meant to be like a replacement for business units?
I don't know, actually. I don't even know if it's out of Marketing Hub, so maybe we're actually looking or thinking about it differently. So set up your organization, define the connections between accounts, and decide how each HubSpot account will use or not use multi-account management features. So data mirroring, asset copying, automated marketing, email lists, forms. So it looks like it's just essentially allowing you. So if we have, for example, I don't know, let's say we have a Zapier agency does Zap whatever you need, right?
Yeah.
But then we also have HubSpot agency for what we do, and we wanted to basically cross market. I think that's kind of what this is going for. So multi-account journey automation.
That's really interesting to me. I haven't played around too much with that.
Let me see if I don't know if this will come through, but.
Hi, I'm Emma Goldborn, and I'm going to show you journey automation. But for larger, more sophisticated marketing teams who are trying to plan and build end-to-end customer journeys, we've built journey automation. Let's imagine a new segment of customers are engaging with your brand. We can use journey automation to guide them from their initial touch point to becoming marketing qualified leads. Let's use one of our pre-built templates in journey automation. This view clearly shows at a high level the different stages or automated flows and paths that a contact can take through the journey based on their intent level. I can also clearly see the overall goal of my journey, which is to turn.
Okay, so this is actually turning life cycle into more of like a if then do that type of feature, which is pretty solid. I mean, we used to have to build it all in workflows.
Right, that's what I was
I'm
gonna
sure
say.
there's other features here that probably are going to tie into this, but
It also looks like one of the reasons why we put together what we call big brain workflows is to keep the journey all on one screen so you can map it out. This solves for that because sometimes, especially with the communication workflows, sometimes we just can't get around having multiple workflows for that. But to have it all in one journey, we've been trying to crack that code with the big brain, and we've gotten 80% of the way there, but this is really interesting. I'm gonna look into this.
Yeah, 100%. Yep. All right, let's see. So workspaces. Yeah, I haven't really liked the workspaces, to be honest.
Yeah, same.
I don't really. It kind of you have to change your almost entire setup to actually leverage it. And there's like, I don't know. I don't think it's there yet.
Well,
and
and
maybe we
also
just
doesn't-
haven't really built into it yet. But it's honestly, let me actually take a step back. It's actually a very good feature. But the way that most of our clients leverage HubSpot, it's like a completely different process on the day-to-day. Like, I'm going to start here, do this, do that.
Mm-hmm.
So it basically just takes everything and rolls it in. So you have all of your summary, bookings, tasks, all of this stuff basically in one workspace, along with leads, target counts, all this stuff. So honestly, for like an enterprise software sales team, it's like money.
Yeah, this might be exactly what they need.
Longer sales cycle, money, targeted accounts, money. I mean, it's pretty cool. It's just not, I don't think any of our clients use it.
Well, and also it's not there yet in terms of the integrations with other things that are important to what we believe is important, which is like dialer systems. Like the dialer system that we use does not leverage it doesn't work with this this prospecting workspace.
I think it would. There's just some weird stuff with it that I just haven't figured out yet. Like the Smart View power dialer connection with the lead scoring and filtering best, hottest leads to the top and being able to filter through, the P1, P2, P3 stuff, etc. You can set up in this. It's just not as, I don't know, usable.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure how to put that, but yeah, it's
just not integrated into the architecture that at least that that we build.
We'll see. Yeah. I mean, maybe customer success, this would actually be really, really solid. I haven't played with the customer success work desk yet, just the sales workspace. All right, let's see what else they got. AI campaign. Yeah, that's the summary insights is nice. Oh, I have not seen this yet. The live call Copilot. That's actually, I don't know.
And it uses Breeze. Interesting.
I don't know what.
Yeah, I think Trevor sent something in the Slack channel yesterday about this.
Copilot. Interesting. Oh, they're actually bringing it into. Okay, this is interesting. Okay, so it's just summarizing data pretty much everywhere. Actually, I have seen this, and it's actually nice with, like when Juliet is confirming our sales calls, I'll go click down the call, like the call activity record inside of the contact record, and the Breeze will just basically summarize it. So Julieta and blah, blah, blah had a good conversation, blah, 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 sounded excited, was looking for X, Y, and Z. Julieta confirmed that this is a good whatever, right? So it's basically just summarizing a bunch of stuff, which obviously makes things a little bit better. Kind customer agent, PDFs, increase email sending speeds, identify customer agents, knowledge groups, perform company research with CRM records. Nice. Cool. Yeah. And there's a ton of other stuff coming up. Updated call summaries, down crawling, customer agent actions. Nice. All right. Sentiment analysis, health score reporting, AI-powered KB cards, knowledge-based cards, contact CMS. Yeah, I mean, they're rolling out a ton of stuff. Honestly, the best thing that they've come out with, honestly, that I've seen recently is going to be the lead score feature. The agents, obviously, the AI agents are nasty. They're really easy to set up. They crawl everything across your entire contact activity record. They go into the company record. It's pretty awesome. Trying to think what else recently they've dropped that I've really liked.
I mean, they've got some cool things that are like, deep within it, like, the different property updates. So now, I don't know if you know this, but like, the pre-call process and everything, you couldn't, do that easily inside of HubSpot. Now
with the date, time, hour, minute type of
you can delay until, I think it was before, it was only like, you can delay all the way up until a certain interval before a date property, but the intervals were like days. Now it's days, hours, and minutes.
They've made it way better.
Yeah. So that calculation properties, the sync properties are super cool.
Data sets have been much easier to use. I'm trying to think what is it? I don't know if there's a new feature, but we're really leveraging like the landing pages to build assets on for the sales process for onboarding. Because obviously we can
create personalized experiences.
100%. Yeah. So, and then also just uploading media. I mean, I think that's one thing that, many people don't do, but like actually dropping videos and uploading them into HubSpot and then using those links to send out in emails if you're sending out a video, or hosting it in a landing page in HubSpot so you can actually see media plays and who's clicking on stuff.
Yep.
I mean, we're in deep now. Yeah. I don't know if there's anything that's really, I'm not sharing, am I? Okay. No, don't do that.
Okay.
I was going to look into a few other pieces that are really pop out to me real quick, because the settings have been updating all the time. I mean,
yeah.
Let's see, brand identity, markets, objects. They've been changing their objects a lot. So there's now a meeting object. There's the course object, which I haven't played with yet, but they're actually allowing you to build out course structure.
The appointment object is really interesting to me. I started playing around with it, but the reporting,
I think it's more for brick and mortar. No,
it's
like location based.
It could be used for virtual appointments too. But what's nice about it is that it has its own pipeline. So each call that comes in or each meeting that gets booked, there's just a specific pipeline for that, and then you can create automation that associates it with deal stages. And the only downside of it is that the reporting, at least the last time that I checked in on it, which was like maybe 2 months ago, the reporting capabilities on that particular object. Are you trying to get to me?
No, I was gonna jump back here.
Okay. The reporting capabilities on that object were super slim. So to be able to get all the reporting that we like to have on meetings and completed and having certain dispositions and outcomes and tracking all those, it was limited, but I think it's just a matter of time. I would love to be able to see that being, a use case and actually fully integrated into their architecture.
Yeah. I mean, I just don't understand why they have appointments and then why they also have meetings. There's got to be a clear... honestly, I'm almost positive that the appointment feature is for somebody like a Cairo or a showing at a property or a... anytime somebody's actually physically showing up, right? Because at the end of the day, the sales pipeline is where we want to keep the reporting for the show rates and all of these different, meeting metrics, right?
Mm-hmm.
We want all of that stuff there. So I don't see why we would ever want to make another pipeline for our sales reps to have to use. But if it's like a receptionist who is, appointment scheduled, confirmation of appointments, actually, I just thought about using the appointment pipeline
In the overview tab.
No, for the confirmation rep.
Oh, interesting.
So it's new appointments booked, right? New appointments. The next stage would be new appointments unconfirmed within 48 hours, right? And then it's,
Confirmed or
canceled,
never
confirmed. Yeah, and it's just basically the throughput of our confirmation process. That's actually something that would make this very useful, because
Yeah.
instead of having your appointment confirmation specialist working out of the main sales pipeline or out of contact records, you give them a very specific pipeline that they manage. Dude, that would simplify the hell out of this.
Wow.
Yeah, completely.
All right, let's burn it all down and rebuild it.
I mean, we don't need to burn it down. We would
No,
just
I'm just
move it
kidding.
out of basically contact records for the 48, 24, et cetera, and move it into
And literally
the
just have a
appointment
pipeline. Yeah. That's very interesting.
Okay.
I like that. All right. Well, we got our meeting starting here in about a minute, so we'll wrap up here for the day. Anything else you want to show on that? Okay.
No.
All right. Sweet. Well,
Start slow.
starting slow.
Once my cup became empty, got in the roll.
Yep.
So,
We're
anyways,
back,
guys.
baby.
Yeah. We're going to be, actually, tomorrow we'll give you an update, but next week's going to be a little bit different. I'm going to be in Paris. Dean, you're going to be back at your place.
Yep.
We're going to be figuring out something, because this is going to happen no matter what each day. But tomorrow is going to be a pretty banger, because we're going to wrap up the week, go over everything we got done. Hopefully we can show them the onboarding process by then, because
I'm proud of that.
Yeah. Fuck, I'm proud of Harrison. That
Hey,
shit's
dude,
crazy.
Harrison crushed it. Oh my God.
Anyways, so tomorrow we got our end of week wrap up. We're going to close out the metrics, go over everything, show you guys what we actually knocked out this week in terms of building this piece out. And damn, that's day 4.
Day 4 in the
stuff.
books.
All right, guys. Have a good day.
See ya.
See you tomorrow.